In a quiet suburban neighborhood, tensions began to rise between Jake, a dedicated military dog trainer, and his new neighbor, Linda. Initially, their interactions were cordial, but as time went on, misunderstandings and differing lifestyles sparked a conflict that would escalate dramatically. Jake, passionate about his work, often trained his dogs with rigorous discipline, which Linda found disruptive and intrusive. She believed the noise and commotion were infringing on her peace, while Jake felt his training methods were being unfairly judged. As their disagreements intensified, the once friendly exchanges turned into heated confrontations, drawing the attention of other neighbors who began to take sides. The clash between Jake and Linda not only showcases their personal struggles, but also reflects broader themes of coexistence and the need for empathy in a shared space. As the conflict unfolds, viewers will be drawn into the drama, eager to see how these two neighbors navigate their differences and whether they can find common ground amidst the chaos. On a serene afternoon, Jake enjoyed the peace of his property, surrounded by lush greenery and the soft rustle of leaves in the gentle breeze. His military background had instilled in him a deep appreciation for discipline and order, which he maintained through his meticulously designed training perimeter for his dogs. This space was not just a yard, it was a sanctuary where he honed their skills and built a bond of trust. Suddenly, the peaceful ambiance shattered as the unmistakable sound of metal scraping against wood pierced the air. Jake's heart raced as he rushed toward the source of the noise, his instincts kicking in. There he found Linda, his new neighbor, with a pair of wire cutters in hand, a defiant look on her face. "You can't keep those dogs so close to my property," she exclaimed, her voice laced with frustration. Jake felt a surge of anger. This was not just a fence, but a crucial boundary for his training regimen. The disruption threatened not only his work, but also the harmony he had cultivated in his life. In that moment, the clash of their worlds became palpable, setting the stage for a confrontation neither had anticipated. Following the shocking incident at the fence, Linda felt a surge of determination to impose her vision of community standards on the neighborhood. Motivated by her belief that Jake's military dog training was a threat to the peace and safety of their shared environment, she began to rally her neighbors. With a persuasive flair, Linda initiated a smear campaign against Jake, painting him as an irresponsible dog owner whose methods endangered both pets and people alike. She circulated exaggerated tales of chaotic training sessions, claiming that his dogs were aggressive and unpredictable. As she knocked on doors, her fervor ignited a mix of concern and curiosity among the residents. Some neighbors, swayed by her passionate rhetoric, began to view Jake with suspicion, whispering about the supposed dangers lurking behind his property. The once friendly atmosphere of the community shifted, and Jake found himself increasingly isolated. The impact of Linda's actions was palpable. Where there had been camaraderie, there now lay a growing divide. As the neighborhood's perception of him soured, Jake felt the weight of the injustice, grappling with the realization that his dedication to his craft was being overshadowed by Linda's relentless campaign to control the narrative. As Linda's smear campaign gained momentum, Jake knew he had to respond strategically to protect his reputation in his training business. Rather than retaliate with anger, he focused on transparency, inviting neighbors to observe his training sessions firsthand. He showcased the discipline and care he instilled in his dogs, hoping to counteract Linda's negative portrayal. However, the tension continued to escalate, drawing the attention of the local sheriff, who became involved after receiving complaints about noise and potential aggression. The sheriff, while sympathetic to Jake's plight, reminded him of the legal implications of having dogs that could be perceived as a threat. This added pressure weighed heavily on Jake, who understood that he needed to tread carefully to avoid any legal repercussions. Determined to stand his ground, he began documenting every interaction with Linda and her supporters, gathering evidence of her harassment. He also consulted with a lawyer to understand his rights and prepare for any potential confrontations. As he fortified his defenses, both physically and legally, Jake steeled himself for the inevitable clashes ahead. He was ready to confront Linda, not just for himself, but for the integrity of his work and the peaceful coexistence he once cherished in the neighborhood. One evening, as tensions simmered, Jake decided to take matters into his own hands by utilizing technology to gather evidence of Linda's illegal actions. He installed security cameras around his property, strategically positioning them to capture any disturbances. It wasn't long before his efforts paid off. One fateful night, the cameras recorded Linda trespassing onto his property, attempting to tamper with his training equipment. The footage revealed her cutting the leash of one of his dogs, a blatant act of sabotage that could have endangered both the animal and the integrity of his training program. The significance of this footage was monumental. It not only documented her illegal actions, but also provided Jake with the proof he needed to counter her narrative. With the evidence in hand, he felt a surge of empowerment, knowing he could no longer be a passive victim of her smear campaign. After consulting with his lawyer, Jake made the difficult decision to take legal action against Linda. He understood that this was not just about protecting his reputation, but also about standing up for his rights as a responsible dog trainer and neighbor. With resolve, he prepared to confront the escalating conflict head-on, ready to seek justice for the wrongs he had endured. As the truth about Linda's actions began to surface, the dynamics of the neighborhood shifted dramatically. Residents who had once sided with her started to question her motives after Jake shared the footage of her illegal activities. Many were shocked to see the lengths she had gone to undermine him, and whispers of disbelief circulated among the community. Jake, recognizing the importance of rebuilding trust, made concerted efforts to engage positively with his neighbors. He organized an open house at his training facility, inviting everyone to witness firsthand the dedication and care he put into his work. As families arrived, they were greeted by well-trained dogs and a welcoming atmosphere, allowing them to see Jake in a new light. Meanwhile, Linda's credibility began to diminish rapidly. Her once strong influence waned as neighbors grew wary of her tactics. The community started to rally around Jake, appreciating his transparency and commitment to responsible dog training. As Linda's actions were exposed, she found herself increasingly isolated, her attempts to control the narrative backfiring. The neighborhood, once divided, began to unite in support of Jake, recognizing the importance of integrity and accountability in their community. The tide had turned, and Jake felt a renewed sense of hope. The courtroom was tense as Jake faced Linda, both sides ready to present their arguments in a battle that had escalated far beyond their neighborhood. Jake's lawyer opened with a compelling case, outlining the evidence collected from the security footage that clearly depicted Linda's illegal actions, including her trespassing and sabotage of Jake's training equipment. The footage was irrefutable, showcasing not only her disregard for the law, but also the potential danger her actions posed to the dogs in the community. In contrast, Linda's attorney attempted to paint her as a concerned neighbor, arguing that her actions were driven by a desire to protect the neighborhood from perceived threats. However, the lack of credible evidence to support her claims weakened her position. Throughout the proceedings, Jake exuded confidence, knowing that the truth was on his side. As the judge deliberated, the atmosphere was charged with anticipation. Ultimately, the verdict favored Jake, affirming his rights as a responsible dog trainer and neighbor. The outcome had significant implications for Linda. She was held accountable for her actions, facing potential fines and a tarnished reputation within the community. This courtroom confrontation not only vindicated Jake, but also reinforced the importance of integrity and respect in their shared environment. In reflecting on the key events of Jake and Linda's conflict, several important lessons emerge. The journey began with misunderstandings and escalated into a battle of wills, highlighting the critical importance of standing up against bullying and false accusations. Jake's determination to defend his reputation and rights not only led to a courtroom victory, but also served as a powerful reminder that one must not remain silent in the face of injustice. This conflict encourages viewers to reflect on their own community interactions, urging them to foster open communication and understanding rather than allowing misunderstandings to fester. It's a call to action for everyone to be vigilant against the spread of misinformation and to support those who may be unfairly targeted. As we witness Jake's resilience and the eventual triumph of truth, we are reminded of the strength found in community solidarity. If you found this story inspiring, we invite you to subscribe for more narratives that celebrate resilience and justice. Together, we can create a more compassionate world where individuals stand united against adversity and support one another in the pursuit of fairness. Join us as we continue to share stories that inspire and empower, reminding us all of the importance of integrity and community.